Jokers Gaming is proud to present to you some ALCS Blue Jays baseball right here on MLB The Show. This is game 3 of the ALCS, where it will be the Blue Jays at the Houston Astros. The Blue Jays currently has a 2-0 lead, looking to go up 3-0 here in Houston. Houston, of course, is going to try to prevent that. This game, of course, will be played at Minute Maid Park. 41,000 could be on hand. We'll find out. It is going to be, the roof is going to be chosen to be open, and it is clear skies. As I said in the last video, Jose Barrios will be the pitcher for the Blue Jays. Why, it will be, looks like Luis Garcia. Lineup is going to be changing a little. Brandon Belt will be coming in. Actually, you know what? No. No, this is too important. So yeah, so the lineup will stay the same, pretty much. Brandon Belt will come in as the first baseman. Bryce Harper will be the DH. Springer. Actually, you know what? Better yet. Bryce will be the right fielder, and Springer will be the DH. Today. Why not? So here is the overall lineup for both clubs. And now the stats for the pitcher. And there is the brackets as they stand right now with a lineup. We of course take you to John and Chris for this matchup.
It's buzzing in here ahead of game 3, and we'll be back in a minute to get it started. Minute Maid Park in Houston. We've got the American League Championship Series on the show. It's the Toronto Blue Jays taking on the Houston Astros. Alongside Chris Singleton, I'm John Schaub. We're looking forward to what's sure to be a dramatic Game 3, Chris.
And boom, this is as close to an elimination game as you can get without it actually being going down 3-0, more or less, just in this thing. So this game's going to tell us whether we're going to have a real series in store for us, or if we're just going to be packing our bags and going home.
A lot of people feel these teams are more evenly matched than the first 2 games would indicate. So we'll see if we get a bounce-back performance in this one. All right, we'll be back to get this one started after this. Just about ready to go. And towing the slab in this one, Luis Garcia. What do we have with him?
A really good outing from him last time. Scattered 2 runs, was attacking hitters, getting ahead in the count. Great performance. We'll see if he can do it again in this one.
Here's George Springer. The pitch. Hard hit, right side. Altuve slings to first. 1 out the top of the first. Let's take a look at the lineup for the Blue Jays. This is a veteran-led lineup right here. A lot of players with plenty of experience singing.
Yeah, no doubt about that, Boog. These players have been around with the game for a long time, and They may not have the flash that they once did, but they've got the wisdom to be able to understand different situations, be able to think with the opponent and sometimes in front of the opponent. And you always seem to see a team like this. They come to the ballpark, they know how to get down to business, and they understand what the job is at hand.
Kicks and deals. Swing and a miss.
They can live up in the zone all game, and hitters will chase it. That's just too much velocity. Hitters got to look down in the zone.
His pitch misses way outside. Swings through that one. It's a strikeout.
Brown belt, too eager there. Swings out a bad pitch.
Up to the dish. That pitch gets the corner. Strike one. Come on. One strike. Fly ball down the line. This has got a chance. And it is foul. 2 outs, base is empty. Bounce to the left side. Bregman to first, and the Blue Jays go down 1-2-3. Enough to do it for the Blue Jays. Now here come the Astros. No score. Back here in Houston, and getting the start, Jose Barrios. What do you have on here?
He's someone you can rely on to provide quality innings in almost every one of his starts. He knows how to command the mound. His stuff is good. Sometimes it's even better than good. He gets off to a fast start. Look out. It could be a tough day for this lineup.
Bottom of the first. And stepping in for the Astros, Jeremy Payton. And it finds its way through for a hit. And aboard on the leadoff single.
Just so sound in his mechanics. Hits against a firm front side. And the hands just continue to carry through the middle of the field.
Digging in, Jake Myers. And a foul ball. Runner at first with no outs here. Next offer in there for a strike. And that is strike two. Pitch. Right back to the mound. Could be an easy two. Myers to second for one. Back to first. And that is a double play.
Great job on the mound, fielding his position and making a good throw to second to get the double play started. Far too often, we see pitchers have a hard time with that throw, but no issues right there. That's good practice paying off in a game and resulting in 2 big outs.
Here's Jordan Alvarez. And a foul ball.
He's a bad ball hitter, so even if you get him to chase pitches outside the zone, he still might beat you. Not an easy out by any means.
2 outs. And they'll do it again. Just missed.
No, he's not afraid to fall into a 2-strike count. Knows the strike zone very well, so much so that I think umpires will look at him and determine whether it's a ball or strike if he swings or not.
2 down, nobody on. Fights it off, he'll see another.
Now he's desperately looking for that swing and miss. He's going to have to just change speeds a little bit, try to move it around, create just a little bit of illusion at the end.
Good battle here, about to be the 8th pitch of the at-bat. Hard grounder into the outfield for a knock. He forced a lot of pitches to be thrown and ends up collecting a hit.
Well, he really had to battle for that one. Man, that was so fun to watch. Got the top of the ball a little bit, but not much. That was hit pretty far through the infield, so I think he'll be happy with that swing. Definitely generated some good bat speed.
And he deals. There's a strike. 2 gone, but the go-ahead run is at first here in Game 3. There's a line drive to left field. And Tucker is retired. And that is that. 1 left for Houston. Scoreless after 1. Back here at Minute Maid Park. Bryce Harper to the plate. And a pitch. Swings and misses. The atmosphere around postseason baseball, there really isn't anything like it in the sport. It's the time of year where the rally towels come out and the crowd energy gets cranked up even higher. And the righty deals. Gets a piece, and it stays 0-2. The line of pitch. That misses. Ball one.
You look up in the stands in games like this, you just see a giant mass of color. Everything just blurs together. It can be hard as a player not to get distracted by that kind of energy.
Here's Jose Ramirez. To the right side. And that chance handled. They get the tag on him, and that's the second out. 2 outs, base is empty. Now for the Jays, Dalton Varsho. That one finds the zone. Packed house here at Minute Maid. To the right side, Altuve gathers and throws to first. And it's a 1-2-3 inning. Bottom half of inning number 2. At the plate is the Astros catcher, Yainer Diaz. In for a strike. 1-1. Berrios in his 9th season. More than 100 career wins on the mound. And he was awarded a Gold Glove in 2023. Balls it in, and there's one away. Here's Alex Bregman. Here's a high chopper. Ramirez sends it to first. There to beat by an Islanders. And next to hit for Houston, Chas McCormick. And a swing and a miss.
Well, that's that start right there. He threw it extremely well. Talk about just a ton of breaks. So tough to get that barrel to.
Varsho makes the catch, and that'll do it. We'll move to the 3rd with no score. Back here in Houston, all set for the start of the inning. Here's the second baseman, number 36. Garcia back to work. And there's a foul ball. Line and pitch. And that's a base hit. Just kind of sliced that one into center.
That pretty much split the zone down the middle, and those are the ones where you got to make them pay.
Garcia picks over, and they got it.
Hard to know if he was looking to go right there or not, but he was clearly fooled by the pickle. Quick feet, quick release over there by the pitcher. Really quick tag as well.
Here's Kevin Kiermaier. This one high in the air to left center. McCormick has it sized up. He makes the catch, and there's 2 down. Danny Jansen to hit here.
Kind of a throwback. No batting gloves.
And first offering is fouled off. Hit pretty well in the air out to center. McCormick brings it in, and that'll do it. And welcome back to the ballpark. Set for the bottom of the 3rd, and stepping in for the Astros, number 28 in the air center field. Kiermaier moving under it. Puts it away for the out. MVP, Jose Altuve. It's amazing. We get a chance to talk to a lot of opposing managers. This guy scares managers on the other team as much as anyone.
He gets to fly beneath the radar with the other more recognizable names in this lineup.
One out, base is empty. This one popped up. Foul ground, first base side. Bell pulls it down, and there's two down. Here's the Astros leadoff man, Jeremy Pena. 1 for 1. He led off the bottom of the first with a single. And that skips in the dirt. Swing and a pop-up in foul ground. Ramirez brings it in, and that ends the inning. Nothing doing here this half. Game 3 moves on to the 4th. No score. Here in Game 3 of the American League Championship Series. Now it's the DH, George Springer. And here it comes. On the ground to the left. And that's just foul. Righty delivers. Foul ball there. Two now. Foul off the plate. They'll do it again. Pitch. This ball's chopped to the ground. And he grabs it in foul ground. Foul ball still 0-2.
Such a tough time putting him away. 6 foul balls in a row. Man, what a battle.
Way outside. Now 1 and 2.
No swing, apparently.
Base hit. And the postseason success continues for him. To the plate, it's Brandon Belt. He was a strikeout victim his first time. Kickoff throw, and Springer's in there safely.
Well, here's a good opportunity in this inning to get on the scoreboard after that leadoff hit. Hardly work coming up right behind him. This is where they need to get going.
Here comes the pitch. Runner breaks for second. Line drive.
Oh.
Here's the throw. Throw behind the runner. They've got him double.
Well, we assume it, but not all double plays are 6-4-3s or something like that. Right there, it's just sort of a combination of good defense and poor base running.
A fail, hit and run.
Here's the shortstop at the plate. Bobichet. Line drive, base hit. So a 2-out knock keeps the inning alive.
No waiting around right there. He was ready to swing it on the first pitch. Hooked around that pitch on the outside, but he was still able to square it up pretty nicely. And that takes quick, strong wrist to pull that off.
Swing and a pop-up. Foul territory for the catcher. Makes the play, and that's out number 3. One left for Toronto. Still no score.
That's a huge out by Houston with that pop-up by Bryce Harper to end the inning. We go to the bottom of the 4th, still scoreless.
And we're back. John Chambi and Chris Singleton with you. And leading off the bottom of the 4th, Jake Myers.
1-2 Joker here too.
Trying to overswing. I think that's the key for him to have success through the rest of the series. 2 strikes. May see some movement over there at first base, trying to stay out of the double play right here.
Oh no!
And indeed we do. Home plate umpire Rusty Valentine all over it and is making the call. And the belt fires. That was a little bit low. 2-2.
As a pitcher, you know the runner on second is ready to push things with his speed. A base hit is probably going to be a big run, so you really have to execute on the mound.
2-2 on the way. Chop left side. They get the out on Alvarez. Here's Kyle Tucker. And foul off. In the air, foul off first. Bell drifts towards it. Squeezes it. And there's 2 away.
Yeah, that was a wasted RBI opportunity, but a competitor like him, he is looking forward to making up for it in his next at-bat.
Yainer Diaz up next for the Astros. And there's a strike.
If I'm at the dish right now, I am aggressive with the plate. This guy's been filling up the strike zone, so you know you're going to get a good pitch to hit. And as nasty as the stuff is, you might as well take all 3 swings.
And on second, 2 down. Swing and a miss. Him out. Had him way out front of the slurve.
Sometimes he wears the emotion on the sleeve, but that's okay as long as he's getting results. And right there, thrilled with the punch out to get out of a jam.
Ready now for the 5th inning. And now for the Jays, Jose Ramirez. Hit hard, base hit. So a man on base to start the inning.
Maybe a little out front of the pitch right there, but he squared it up pretty good, and he kept it inside the line. Just a really nice job on the other side by the defense to hold that to a little single.
Oh, he brings it down. Nice play. Here's one. To first base in time. Great effort there.
Well, he's doing a nice job of keeping the ball out of the air, lets the defense work behind him with another ground ball. Good execution.
Here goes the runner. Pitch misses. Throw, save. That's a stolen base.
You know, nights like this when it seems harder to score, I like to call and put him in motion and try to steal the base. Ball's not carrying, no home runs so far, so trying to manufacture some offense like this may be the way to go.
And at second, center field. He makes the grab. 2 away now.
Snyder cannot advance the runner.
So up next for Toronto, Kevin Kiermaier. And that one fouled off.
Kiermaier gets a base hit. Varsho should be able to score.
And a pitch. Tap to first. He takes it himself to the bag, and that'll do it. Blue Jays help. Back here in Houston, here's the third baseman, Alex Bregman. He was late there, strike 1. Bregman, 30 years old now, and he's a former All-Star Game MVP. Next offering is in for a strike. And a pitch. Foul ball, it stays 0-2. Here comes a pitch. Now it's belting. Deep to left. Way out of here. Home run. Alex Bregman sends it out. His second home run of the series. The Astros strike first. It's 1-0. Chris, he's over in back-to-back games now.
Yep, seeing the ball well, and he's got his timing locked in. He's looking pretty dangerous at the dish right now. Hard sinker can be a pretty tough pitch because of the late life and movement, but somehow he got the barrel to that pitch, stayed through it. Really nice job of staying on the backside until it was time to transfer that weight, and a really nice home run.
McCormick at it for the second time, and that's strike one. Just missed.
Always exciting to see a leadoff home run in an inning. Kind of gets the offense fired up, and you start to expect a big inning.
Back up the middle and a base hit. Now the first baseman, 0 for 1 with a fly out to center. Started after it, appeal to third, and that's a swing according to umpire Mike Philbin. Next offer is in for a strike. One run across in the frame so far here in Game 3 of the ALCS. Ball mark there, 1-2 to count. And he hits a ground ball right side over to Bichette. A 3-6-1 double play.
The 3-6-1 double play, in my opinion, one of the toughest plays to make. You've got a pitcher covering first and middle infielder throwing to a moving target. Everything has to be perfect, and right there, they made it look pretty easy.
Jose Altuve up to hit here. 0 for 1 as he popped out foul first. That to right. Harper has a beat on it. Brings it in for the third out. Astros off and running on the solo homer. It's now a 1-0 ball game. You're watching the American League Championship Series on the show. Back here in Houston, all set for the top of the sixth. Here's the Toronto catcher, Danny Jansen. Hard liner. Makes the catch and it's 1 ball.
Sometimes you'll be aggressive early in the at-bat. He was right there. Hard line out. First pitch of the inning. No reward, but hey, you got to keep swinging it.
Springer at him with 1 down. Takes a strike.
It really looks like these hitters have been in between with their timing today. Good fastball, excellent slider, but they've not been able to commit to one velocity and stay there.
Line to kick the pitch. Fights that one away. The count remains 0-2. Out to short. Hanging. Tosses the first. That takes care of Springer. Brandon Bell now at the plate.
Very dangerous, strong hitter.
Immediately pumps in a strike to the left-handed hitter.
Well, he's looking great so far. Helps when 80% of your first pitches are strikes. He might be able to go the distance if he keeps this up.
On the ground right side. He takes it on his own, and the Blue Jays go down 1-2. And welcome back to the ballpark. Well, we go bottom 6, and now the shortstop, Jeremy Pena. Right through there for his strike. That one finds the zone, and it's 0-2.
Oh, this guy's so comfortable hitting with 2 strikes. Even a good pitcher.
High fly up the wild towards left field. And it's off the foul pole. He made him pay for that one. And they tack on to their lead. It's 2-0.
No, this thing was looking down the line. If you knew it was going to be close, and bang, right out the left field hole. That was a pretty swing, and found a way to keep his hands inside just enough to keep it fair.
And now time is called as there's a visit to the mound. Just talking things over, nobody getting loose out in the pen. So a little consultation. And now here is Jake Myers. Slings to first, and that's the first out. Nice recovery after giving up the homer. Yordan Alvarez getting ready to hit. Ground ball right side, and it goes just foul. And the pitch. Top of the zone, and it's called a strike. 1 out, bases empty, and a run in. And here at the bottom of the 6th. There's a swing, and he drops. Astros catcher Gainer Diaz. That one fouled off. Runner at second, 2 down. Swing and a miss. And it's 0-2. Now we may have a walk here. And indeed we do. Home plate umpire Rusty Valentine all over it and is making the call.
Well, it doesn't get much easier with this next batter, but I totally understand going with the intentional walk in that spot. He's just too dangerous to the plate right now. And there's a base open, so it gives you options defensively to get it out.
So 2 down, and now Chance McCormick. Swing at a high fly ball left field. Pulls it down and he makes the catch. And that is the inning. Astros notch a run on the solo homer. It's now a 2-0 ball game. We go to the top of the 7th, and now Bo Bichette.
An unlikely home run for Bo Bichette, as he is now 3 for 16 against this pitcher in Garcia.
Well, I'm not really sure how he kept that fair. When you're out in front on a breaking ball like that, it's such a good chance that it's going to hook foul, but not this time. He kept the hands moving forward just long enough to sneak it inside that foul pole.
Harper up to bat next, lays off the ball. To hold a 1-run lead here in the late stages of Game 3. And that one fouled off.
Well, just got to delete it. You give up that leadoff home run. Go back to work. Focus on this next batter.
Kicks and fires. Well struck deep right field. Way back and out of here.
Nose lead is safe.
He powers that one out of here. And we are all tied up. It's 2-2. Brighter the lights, the more he shines.
Yeah, this guy lives for big moments, and right there made a statement big time. Back-to-back homers, always a special feeling at the ballpark, especially if it's your team that does it. Those guys get to slap hands at home plate. This is the kind of thing that can really fire up the ballpark.
Here comes the skipper, and we're going to see a pitching change in this spot. Luis Garcia won't go any further tonight. And as he heads for the dugout, we'll take a quick break. New arm on the mound when we get back. The Astros turn to a new arm on the mound, Penn Murphy. Jose Ramirez, 1 for 2. In the air out towards right center. McCormick has it sized up. Hauls it in for the out. And there's one away. At the plate, Dalton Varsho. The other way. And it gets down for a base hit. So the go-ahead run is on base with a knock.
Waste no time there. That could be a dangerous pitch if you don't get it inside enough, because as a hitter, you see it coming across the plate.
Runner on the go. Pitch inside. Throw to second. Save.
Well, with that kind of elite arm he has behind the plate, man, it's a pretty big deal when you can swipe it back against this dude. Maybe more than anything, it prevents teams from just testing him, thinking that they can even steal the base. But right here, they successfully move that runner. Good job.
Hitter for the Blue Jays. Francisco Lindor. Big spot for him here.
stay mentally and physically ready for the big opportunity, and he came through for his club right there.
Over to first, and he's safe. And that's a stolen base, not even close.
Well, I'm sure they're pretty frustrated. They guessed right on the pitch out. The throw was okay, but they still couldn't cut him down. Aside from a bad jump, they stood no chance at catching him.
Murphy checks the runner. Lindor back in there. Again, strike in there. Throw to third, and he's in there easily.
Well, sometimes stealing third base can be tough, especially if that shortstop or second baseman are making some noises, moving towards the bag, try to make you think that you've got to stay close. Well, they didn't do a very good job of that.
There's a high fly ball out to center. McCormick has it sized up. Makes the catch. Runner tags from third. He's in to score the sac fly, and they take a 2-run lead.
Well, these players understand how important each run is, especially as you get closer to the end of the ball game. Nice job right there to get that runner in for third and add a little insurance.
Jansen down the box, comes up empty with a swing there. Other thing in this part, I mean, he could sneeze one over the left field wall into those Crawford box seats. One there. 2 down, nobody on. Here in the top half of inning number 7. And a swing and a miss. And he swings through that one. Gets to it on first. In there safely. So the lineup flips over. And next is the designated hitter, George Springer. 1 for 3. Chance to collect himself now as he asks for time. So now a pinch hitter, Shohei Ohtani.
Man, it must be nice to pull a superstar off your bench, huh?
And it's through for a hit. Throw stops the lead runner at second. 2 on and 2 out. New pitcher now, Trevor Richards.
Just trying to keep this one close here, and this is where a bullpen can give their players a chance to fight back into the game.
Down the line, and it's foul. The 0-1. Oh, and he hit him.
That's not exactly what they're going for when they say 1 up, 1 down.
2 outs, bases full. And here is Bo Bichette. He's already homered here in this one. Now move being made for a pinch hitter. Joey Votto. Pressure spot for him. Bases loaded and 2 gone.
Kind of goes without saying, but straighten these 2 runners in scoring position right here, it feels like it's a must if they stand a chance to win this game.
Chase that time.
Joey Votto could really put this game away with a big hit.
Slides for the stop. Little pitcher, and very nicely done. Yeah. 2 round trippers in this inning. The long ball was working. It's now 4-2. So remaining in the game defensively, Francisco Lindor. He entered the game to pinch hit and now mans second base. short field. He'll play second. And here's the first baseman. Now to the bullpen for the Jays, Matt Barnes.
Well, the best relievers love the opportunity to come in and protect a tight lead late in the ball game.
Oh, now this is blasted. Way back there. On its way. Gone. A gigantic blast. It's 4-3. One pitch, one swing, one home run.
Yeah, you can say that's efficiency right there. Didn't need much time in the box to make an impact. Welcome to the game. First pitch out of the bullpen, a tough one. You know he's just trying to get one in there for a strike. And on the other side, as a hitter, it's a great time to be aggressive and let it fly. It's not what they were looking for when they turned to him, but now he's got to find a way to reset.
And now, Jose Altuve. Holding on to a one-run lead near the bottom of the seventh. Swing and a miss. And he's down on strikes. And that's the first out. Nice recovery after giving up the homer.
No, that's a pure ball, and I'm sure he wants back at the plate. 2 strikes, the sooner pitcher went for a bit of a mistake, and I'd say in a very hittable location, but clearly the break was enough to get him to swing through it.
Next offering is in for a strike.
Trying to keep good speed off the bases.
In there, sets him down on strikes. Not sure about that call. Pitcher might have gotten a friendly strike 3. And now it's going to be Jake Myers. Up the middle. It's through for a hit. So the tying run is 2 away.
Well, that started and ended pretty quickly. No messing around right there. Timing on the swing was good. Able to shoot the ball up the middle. Didn't square it up as much as he probably would have liked, but that's a good approach.
Tim Mason into the game.
These are the spots relievers really make a name for themselves. Late and close. There's not much margin for error, but at the same time, there's a reason they're put in these situations.
2 outs. That one is absolutely belted. That's down. One out's off the wall. Runner around third. He scores, and the Astros tie it up. It's 4-3.
There you go. The RBI machine. Another clutch run-scoring at bat.
Yeah, he's been so good in these situations. Call him clutch if you want, but his resume speaks for itself. Pitch. That one's in there. 0-2.
And a bat like this is almost over as it begins. In this situation, you have no idea what the next pitch is going to be. You just got to hope that you can make contact.
2 down. Go ahead, run in scoring position. On the ground right side. He takes it himself to the bag, and that'll do it. But they scored twice. The top of the 8th. Now here is Harper. Pitch. This one chopped on the ground, but foul.
expect this hitter to be looking for something on a tee. He can get up in the air and untie this ball.
Right-hander kick steals. Base hit center field. Around first, digging for two. Throw comes into second. Tag, and he's safe. It's a hustle double. Well, Siggy, he is locked in there.
Well, he's really slowed the game down, and it's like he's moving in full speed, and everybody is a step or two behind. The way that he squared up that baseball tells me that he is seeing it like a beach ball.
And the batter now, Dalton Varsho. Follow foul. Go-ahead run at second. We're at the top of the eighth. In the dirt. No advance. Good job behind the dish. Tied at 4. Ground ball up the middle. That's a base hit. They're waving Ramirez home. Throw is on the line and he scores. And they've taken the lead here in Game 3.
Always feels
Rafael Montero gets handed the rock out of the pen.
pretty tight game, so they're looking for quality pitches out of him right here. Got to do his best to keep the score right where it is.
Off to second, and he's back in on a dive. Francisco Lindor comes up to the plate. Swing and a pop-up. Bregman settles under it. Puts it away from the out. And there's 2 away.
That was a good pitch to hit right down the heart of the plate. Had pretty good timing on it. Just got underneath it a little bit and popped it up.
And now the center fielder, Kevin Kiermaier.
Kiermaier gets a base. That runner could score.
And that one is lifted in the air. Alvarez makes the play, and that'll do it. So they pick up 1 run on the RBI single. And the home team down a run. Back now, new pitcher on the mound as we roll into the bottom of the 8th. Jordan Romano. Well, 1-run game. Stepping in, Gainer Diaz. There's a strike, 95 of that one. Got him! 1 gone on the bottom of the 8th.
Pretty big strikeout right there to start this 8th inning. Down 1, any leadoff base runner really makes this inning a bit more interesting. Now this offense has to switch from possibly trying to manufacture a run to needing to run into something or just try to string multiple hits together to get a run across the plate.
The Astros down by a run near the bottom half of the 8th inning. Foul ball still 0-2.
This is a big chance here.
Looking to get the tying run on base.
Can't get him to chase.
Bounce to the right side, and it's just foul. That's close. Right-handed reliever. A hit to right. Parker sizing this one up. And there are 2 down. Chas McCormick up next for the Astros. And a base hit up the middle. And that puts the tying run on base.
Went up there looking to be aggressive and got something he could handle. Let's get the ball.
Odd choice here. They intentionally walk him, and the runner now in a scoring position. So up next, Jose Altuve. That's in there. Strike 1. Big spot. 2 out. Both the tying and go-ahead runs are aboard. Throws the first in time. Inning over. That's a crucial missed opportunity. opportunity. 2 left for the Astros. Still down a run. It's 5-4. We're back. It's the top of the 9th, and there's a new pitcher on the mound. Brad Hand. He has a great slider with tons of movement.
Former Blue Jay.
At the plate now. That's ball 1.
Now the closer.
The young right-hander up and throwing. And the 1-0. Out towards left center. Alvarez sizes this one up. Makes the catch for the out.
I love how they incorporated Old Union Station into the construction of Minute Maid Park. It really makes it feel like it's existed here in downtown Houston for a long time.
Swing and a high fly ball down the left field line, but looking foul. Crowd locked in right now. 1-run game here in the 9th. Up the middle. And they get Ohtani for the out. 2 outs, base is empty. Brandon Bell next up for the Blue Jays. Swing and a miss. 1-1 on Bell.
Not looking like they'll be adding any insurance runs heading to the bottom of the 9th, so it's going to be on the bullpen to hold this lead.
Brad Hand looks like he's done his job. He has 2 strikes with 2 outs in his favor. Josh Hader, the closer for the Blue Jays, warming up. Jays have a 1-run lead. Can Josh Hader get the save and give the Jays 1 more win to be even closer to the World Series? We're about to find out.
The batter will be the shortstop, Jeremy Pena. He's already homered in this game. And the first pitch misses for ball.
It's good speed at the top of the order here. You want to get it on, see if you can get a stolen base, maybe get around the bases and pick up a run.
1-run game, bottom 9. Swing and a miss. And it's 1-2. Swinging.
Very frustrating right there as a speedy potential base runner. With 2 strikes, you just struggle to put the ball in play. You don't even have to get a hit at that point. You can help your team just by reaching on an error. In some way, you got to find a way to shorten up the swing and put the ball in play next time.
And he deals. Up the middle, Merrifield. Now only 1 out remaining.
Good slider inside right there. Batter fighting to get there, just rolled over and got the ground ball.
Yordan Alvarez up next for the Astros. And there's a strike.
Not sure if he was expecting for the pitcher to come right at him. He got a nice cookie there and just watched it the entire way.
They're down to their final strike. A 1-run lead. And the home team trying to pull it out.
That's hit high.
Kiermaier settles under it. And he's threatened full game. And the Blue Jays hold on to win a tight one as this one ends as a 1-run ball game.
This team has been truly dominant in the series. Up now 3 games to none. Pretty demoralizing on the other side. You want to get this thing over as quickly as possible. So stay focused, come back for the next game, and close out this series.
So, Chris, here's a look at the final numbers from what turned out to be a really close ball game.
Yeah, this is one of those games that clearly could have gone either way, and that's kind of exactly what you expect out of postseason baseball. So competitive.
Close one here today, and your final 5-4. For Chris Singleton and our entire outstanding crew here at MLB The Show, I'm John Schaumburg. Thanks for joining us.
Trevor Richardson will get the loss. Tim Mazur will get the win. Josh Hader gets the save. The Jays are now one win away to the World Series. Here are the highlights for today's game. Bryce Harper's crushing, tying home run. Lindor gets a beautiful hit there. Alvarez, he got a beautiful double out of that. Varsho would bring a run in, which will turn out to be the game winner. And the Jays win this one 5-4. And now the Jays are officially one win away from the World Series in this ALCS, being up 3-0 over the Houston Astros. Bo, Varsho, Francisco Lindor, and Bryce Harper are the notable players for the Blue Jays. Bo Bichette is our player of the game. As you see, Philly and Atlanta is tied 2-2, while the Blue Jays have now a 3-0 record. Who will advance? We'll find out on the next episode of Blue Jays Baseball, right here on MLB The Show 24. For Chris, John, and the rest of the crew, this is the one true Joker from Jokers Gaming, thanking you for watching Blue Jays Baseball for this playoff run to the trip to the World Series. Will the Jays sweep Houston on the next episode and advance to the World Series to take on who? Will be that question, where that series is tied 2 games apiece. Could we see the 1992 replay of the World Series with Toronto and maybe Atlanta? Or would it be the 1993 replay of Toronto versus Philadelphia? Either way, it's going to be a rematch at the World Series if Toronto can win and advance to the final stage of baseball. Until then, this is the one true Joker thanking you and saying we will be back with another episode for the ones watching in a few minutes. For others, just check out the next episode to see if Toronto advances to the World Series or not. We are signing out.